AdWords, Google have created a brilliantly simple environment for you to run ads for your business. But don't be fooled. This veil of simplicity hides a machine of great complexity. This veil entices business owners to start spending money without a clear understanding of their outcome or any consideration of the likelihood of that outcome being achieved. And that's why we've created Module 2, so that you can understand what success looks like for your business, how to measure it, and ensure you're travelling a path to achieving it. After all, as the Cheshire Cat said to Alice in Wonderland, if you don't know where you want to get to, it doesn't much matter which way you go. So before you spend a penny or spend another penny on AdWords, stop everything and take in Module 2 and everything it has to offer. You'll never look at AdWords the same way again.
Welcome to Module 2 of your AdWords training program. Now in Module 1 we were doing some background work, we were doing some base understanding. Module 2 we're going to get action focused. We're going to start and look at your business. We're going to lay the foundations that are going to build you an awesome high performing AdWords campaign. Module 2 is about getting the planning right. And I know it's super tempting to rush ahead and get straight into a campaign build, but trust me, do this bit right. If you've got an existing campaign, it doesn't matter. Pause it now. Let's do this first. Let's put the foundations right. Let's put the building blocks down so that whether you're a brand new first-time advertiser or a seasoned pro and you've done this before, that we make sure we're doing the right things for the right reasons and that we understand why we're doing them. So with that said, let's dive into Module 2, and our first lesson is really just a brief primer. It's about determining what our objectives are. Why are we running AdWords? And we need to get specific, and this is the first step in that process. So the first thing to ask ourselves is, what do we want to achieve? Are we trying to generate leads, inquiries, prospects, whatever you prefer to call them? What are we trying to do? If we're in the business of acquiring leads online, so we're a service business, we're a business that doesn't directly sell online, and leads are generally anything where you're not going to conclude that transaction, that sale, and get paid online, you're generally going to be collecting leads, inquiries. So if that's you, if you're collecting leads, what sort of leads do you want? Not all leads are the same. What are you best at converting? Can you sell better to somebody who fills in a form or to somebody who picks up the phone and calls you? We need to know. We need to decide what we're trying to achieve and why. So give this some thought. Are you in a long sales cycle where a download is an important step? Some business-to-business sales where they're selling a technical product with a long consultative sales process, the first and most important step in that process is getting a prospect to download your white paper, your report. If that's your type of business and that's how you sell, then that might be your objective. It might be that they've read a particular page on your website. I suggest it isn't, because that's not very easily measurable and it's not particularly good to track because you don't know who's done it. So I would focus on those first three. If you're in the lead generation business online, so you're bringing leads into your business, what matters most to you? Prioritize them. Think about it. Think whether you can convert a phone call better than a form. Do you have automation follow-up process for forms that means you convert forms better? Do you want different types of forms? Is a brochure download different to an online booking? These are all can be forms, but you can have different forms for different purposes that have different values to your business. And even if you don't know the answer right now, take some time to think about that. Have a look through whatever history you've got. Look at your records. See if you can build an understanding that says, I got 10 forms in last week. 2 of those were consultation bookings. 8 were just general inquiries. What happened to those? How did they go? What did I sell? What didn't I sell? Look back at whatever records you've got and combine that with your gut intuition about your business so that you know what type of leads, what type of forms or phone calls are most valuable to you. That's if you're into lead generation, into generating prospects online. If you're into generating sales online, you actually close the transaction online, take a payment usually, then what matters to you? Is it a single product that you sell? So all that matters is how many you sell. Is it a value that matters more? You're interested in your total overall revenue. If you've got different products but they all have similar margins, it probably doesn't matter to you which one you sell. All that you care about is that you sell enough overall revenue to be profitable. So the value of overall sales matters most. Is it a particular product or service that matters? If you've got one product with a 70% gross margin and one with a 30%, clearly you want to sell the 70% margin more, providing prices are similar, of course. So think about what you want to sell. What is going to matter to you the most? If you're into branding, and I suspect the majority of people on this training are not just into branding, you don't want to get your name out there, as I hear people so often say. You might be interested in page views or ad impressions, or even downloads to a certain extent, of referring back to talking about leads and inquiries before. If a download of a brochure matters to you, those are all branding activities. Being seen, having your ad shown is a branding activity, and one that's often forgotten about with AdWords. Unlikely for most people, unless you're in big budgets, you want to generate a response, which is an inquiry or a sale, but I leave it there for completeness. So, before we go into the detail, take 5 minutes, have a think about clarifying your business objective. If you can refer back to data such as call logs, form logs, sales records, take the time to do that. Clarify and be as sure as you possibly can be what you're trying to achieve with your AdWords campaign. Is it sales? If so, what's your measure? If it's inquiries, what's the most important kind of inquiry to you? Because that's what we're going to try and achieve with our campaign. So clarify that now, and then dive straight into lesson 2. Bye for now.